Yeah, so if you're looking for an advanced SEO strategy that you can do, whether you're a developer, whether you're a broker, whether you're a financer, I'm going to just walk you through what we just did within the last week for Bob Knakal, who, if you know Bob Knakal, is the legendary commercial real estate broker in the country. And so what we did, I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to show you the everything that we did here. And this is a pretty cool strategy. If you're looking to build your reputation, if you're looking to dominate local markets and generate business, this is how you do it. All right. So one of the things that we went after, now this is sort of a general keyword phrase, or not, I wouldn't call it general. It's a very, very niche specific keyword phrase, Knakal Land Index. But this has a huge ripple effect. And so if you look right here, you can see that, okay, so we're ranking #1. It's been picked up in the AI overview up here. NewYork.com. I'm going to show you what we did on NewYork.com. I'm going to show you the BKREA newsletter. And I'm going to show you the Street Insider press release that we implemented. And so let's walk through everything. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, I wanted to show you over on Perplexity too. So this is pretty interesting as well. If you can see this, let me enlarge this. Let me enlarge this here so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so under Knakal Land Index, okay. All right, you can see that Perplexity pulled information from NewYork.com. They pulled from BKREA. Again, more here. And then you can see Street Insider. That was a press release that we just launched this morning that is already being pulled here. And again, New York, and then also LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you how we used all these: LinkedIn, YouTube, BKREA. Okay, so this is important to understand is how this works and how these algorithms work. And again, this is not hard stuff. The hard part is knowing what to do. But in my school group, I teach exactly how to do this. And, with AI today, you just have such an advantage. I mean, this did not take us very long, though we did it in a series of days over the last week. Okay, so let's go over to this one right here. This is the one that we launched this morning that, you just saw. Let me go back over to Google. Let me go back over here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over here. Let me get rid of that up there. Okay, so let's start here. We're going to go right over here. And, what we did here is you can see there's a lot of keywords in the title, right? We went after BKREA. We're doing some brand building here too, right? This is a big part of branding and building reputations. We went after Manhattan Land Index, New York City Land Index, New York City Development Trends. I mean, all kinds of different keywords. And in each one of these articles, we've got a lot of data. And we get into, in my school group, we get into how to use the data. Very simple, but, numeric data like this one, 41-year study, going back to 1984, 2,400 transactions, on and on. We embedded a video in here and embedded a Google map in here too. So we're creating as many signals as we can for this press release. Now, this was just a single press release. I didn't do any big campaign. And I launched this, last night I launched it like maybe 5 or 6 o'clock last night. It was Sunday night. Here we are Monday morning. Okay, it's already ranking, which is nice, which is great. Now, so when you click the link, okay, here's what it does. So we're going over here to uscommerciallending.com, and we publish the article here on US Commercial Lending. Now, when you go right here, you can see we're using more relevant keywords. Manhattan Land Index. We're also using BKREA. We're using that brand name. What we're doing is we're creating a ripple effect. Okay, we're using a lot of authority sites, and what's going to happen here is you think about this, right? From this is how the search engines work, right? They're going to look at this page. They're going to see, okay, Street Insider, it's got a high domain authority. You've got your headline right here, which is important. All the content here in the body of this article follows the headline. Very, very relevant. It's very unique content. We have a quote from Bob. We've got, something here from Robert Lobel, president of Bell Rock Development. A lot of little things that are really, really important, right? So then it goes over to, we go over to this page right here. And again, similar strategy, different words. You notice right here, we're using different images. Now this image right here, I want Bob to look, I want to make sure that Bob looks the part, right? I want him to look like, the king of New York City. And, he looks pretty darn good right here. He's got the nice camel hair coat. He's got the nice scarf, and he looks like the real deal. And what we did was, when we set it up, Knakal key stats at a glance, we've got the stats right next to him. You see here, right? 41 years, total transactions, Manhattan, 5 different property types. Okay, so we're giving you, we're painting a picture. We're telling a big story. And again, if you scroll through this and look at this, it's not a lot of content, but you can see how we do it. Different categories, different bullet points, very easy to read, very easy to digest. We're using data here. Okay, geographic data, so important. Geographic data, south of 96th Street on the east side, south of 110th Street on the west side. These algorithms are learning about Bob Knakal and his company. The more we can diversify the use of words and geographic data and geographic and numeric data, the better. Now, what's in the Knakal Land data set? Okay, another keyword phrase. So this right here is a little sub headline, right? And residential rentals, condos, office, hotel, miscellaneous. Okay. How it works. Now here, what we did was, we're also building in, the story about 1984, because Bob's been at this since 1984. So we're really building up that, that reputation. Now, you may not have what Bob does, but you've got great things that you may not even be aware of that you can capitalize on. The key is to be aware of what those are, right? So even if you're just getting started, no matter where you are, whether you're promoting a massive billion-dollar development or you're just getting started, everybody's got unique advantages. And we need to, just be aware of what those advantages are and just identify them in the very, very beginning, just jot them down in little key points. All right, let's move on. Okay, here we are, Bob with Ryan Serhant. Ryan is, and we probably should have mentioned Ryan Serhant here, which I didn't. Ryan Serhant is I guess he's the star of the $1 Million Listing on TV or Netflix, I think it is. He owns his own firm. He's done some pretty killer residential deals. He's launched a commercial division within his company. But anyway, so we go down here. Now, here is the first link. Now, what we did was we linked this one right over to newyork.com. Newyork.com, where we submitted this article right here, okay? And then this link right here takes you right over to Bob's development site page, where you can access this book that's got all the information about the Knakal Land Index, okay? So I'm going to come back to this in a second. Okay. All right. Now, let's see here. Let's go back over here, and so you saw right here that what I did was I used this link right here in the top, linked over to newyork.com. That's a big deal because newyork.com is such a high-powered site. Okay. We have a link right here. I believe this goes over to, it goes over to Bob's LinkedIn page right here. So we're linking out to LinkedIn. And then we go down here, and here's another link right here. Okay. This goes over to Bob's development site page. Okay. So we're bringing, it's almost like it's like a sales funnel. We've got the Street Insider to US Commercial Lending to newyork.com. It's all ranking on Google. It's all ranking on perplexity. And that's what that's what I'm looking at so far. I guarantee that it's popping up on ChatGPT and on Gemini and probably Grok and everything like that. Probably be a good idea to post something about this on Grok as well, because Grok is, they're pulling from a lot of data that's posted within the X platform. Okay, so now you come over here and you've got a great little video of Bob where he's explaining development sites and development site sales. Okay, and all this video was made with an iPhone. So this is everything that you're seeing right here. This is nothing that you can't do. Or, if you need us, we can help you with that. But anyway, so here's the book. So if you want to get access to the book, you can, I'm just going to go through here. And I'm just going to show you exactly what this thing looks like. And 203-912-7244, that's my phone. And let's take a look at the book. Okay. All right, great. Okay, so here's the book right here, okay? And this is in a hard copy also that Bob sends out to developers throughout the city, throughout New York. But, this is a really great book. He's got some filler stuff in the very beginning, but he gets into all the numeric data. So you can see it is pretty neat because there's so much content that can be repurposed with a strategy like this. He gets into, look at the data from going back to 1984, right? All the way up. And you can see the different highs and lows in the market. 2007 dropped in 2008, 2009, started to crank up. Look at where it went. So this is really this is amazing information broken down by all these different property types. Okay. And this is really pretty wild. Then you start to get into all the different developments these are just little one-page case studies of all the different developments with testimonials, right? So anyway, that's that. So I want to go back. Okay. I want to go back over here. Now, I wanted to go over here to LinkedIn, and I want to show you what I did over on LinkedIn. Now, I posted this on a Saturday, okay? And I wanted to give this some social proof as well. So what I did, I just said right here, Bob Knakal featured in U.S. commercial lending with the announcement of the Knakal Land Index. And I just, the article links to the ultimate guide to selling a development site at the highest possible price. You can do the same thing in your market. I don't care whether you're in Bayonne, New Jersey, Hoboken, New Jersey, you're in Plano, Texas, you're in Culver City, California, Ponte Vedra, Florida, Dallas, Miami. It doesn't matter. It's all about knowing your market, right? But you can dominate markets anywhere in the country with this strategy or around the world. It doesn't matter where you are. So anyway, you can see, let's see. So I've had 35 impressions on this since Saturday. So I published this Saturday afternoon. It's Monday morning. So 3,500 plus 29 or 30 people liked it. And then you've got, people clicking the link, and the link is, again, it's going back over here. Okay. And we're starting this whole thing over. So we're building a whole network of social proof from LinkedIn, Street Insider press release, featured on U.S. commercial lending. We're featured on newyork.com. Okay, now let's go over here and let me show you what else we did. So then what we did was we've got a link right here, okay, within the site. So we're sending everybody over here to a page where we can capture emails, capture phone calls, and all, phone numbers and everything. And then we've got a link over here. So let me just go back over here for 1 second. So when these search engines, the perplexities and everything, they land on this page, you can see that every single, you've got your main, 5 proven steps to maximize the sale price of a development site in New York City. This is really key because it follows It follows, let me just go over here for a second. It follows the theme. This is marketing. This is like primo marketing, very crystal clear message right from the get-go. And you've got Bob right here. You've got the land, so we're building a whole, strategy here. We're leveraging off proof, leveraging off the media. Here we build everything. You see that we do a lot of things in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We go down here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is based on what's called the magnificence of 369. That was created by Nikola Tesla, who said the key to unlocking the universe is the magnificence of 369. It actually works because what we're doing is we're using a lot of things in threes. So what it does is it creates a rhythm. It creates rhythm. It makes it very easy to read. It makes it easy to follow. And you can see that along the way, we have little sales hooks everywhere. So it's very, very easy. Go over to bkrea.com and you'll see what I mean. And then you can look through and you can see all these different key points. Okay. And again, development sites is the primary focus. Property conversions and user buildings. This is primarily what Bob is focusing on right now. Any kind of building that needs to be converted. Development sites, property conversions, user buildings, portfolios, office buildings, apartment buildings. When he gets those leads, he pretty much refers those out now because he's got so much business, focusing on these right here. So the messaging becomes very, very crystal clear. All right, let's go back over here. I want to go over to the development site page that we were just on, and I want to show you what else. So you've got a link right here. Very, very important, very subtle, very, very subtle, but I want to just go through this. 5 proven steps to maximize the sales price. Everything follows the messaging. And it's, again, he's not, even though this is all about Bob, and what he's doing, he's giving. He's avoiding that self-orientation, which is, hey, look at me, I'm great, call me, and let's do business. He's not saying that here. He's not saying that. He's just giving you amazing information. So it's like it's the non-sale sell. That's the way to do it. We're building trust through proof to overcome consumer doubt. Now, if you look at these different headlines, each one of these is like what we call a heading 2, and each one of these has the potential to rank on Google. And look at all the different combinations of words. I mean, these search engines are learning about this headline as it relates to this headline and this subheadline and this one right here. And this one right here, and this one right here, and even going down here to these right here, like we could probably, I'm going to show you this in a second. Well, let's do it right now. Let's just go over here to perplexity. And let's just see what we get here. Like this is, one of the FAQs on Bob's page, and we may or may not get a result here. I don't really know. Let's see what happens here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see Bob Knakal is being featured here. He's being featured here. Land Boss is another one. But anyway, he is. So just one, you see what I'm saying here is how important this is. Where'd that thing go? Okay. Right over here. Just one little sentence like this. Now, each one of these FAQs, each one of these has the potential to rank on Google or Perplexity or anywhere. So we want to capitalize. What we're trying to do is we're trying to capitalize on as many things as possible. Anyway, I could, again, come join my school group. We'll teach you how to, this is what we talk about every day. And we have two calls a week. I didn't introduce myself, by the way, but I'm Ed Winslow, and I created, I wrote the book called Proof Stacking, and I've been working with Bob Knakal since he started. I have my own, I have my own business, my own information business, and my own marketing company. Anyway, so here we are now. We linked over from the development site page over to the newsletter. So you see where we're going, right? We're going from here to here to here to here. And while you've got newyork.com, you can see these up at the top. So you got newyork.com. So let's just go through this. You got that one, you got this one, you got this one, you've got this one, you got this over here, this which is LinkedIn. And let's see what else. I actually did another one today. Let's see if this one right here. Okay, I could see somebody else. Here's another one I did this morning about the same topic, and I created another link, and starting to get some people already clicking on it and making comments. Okay, so that's good. So we're getting some social validation there. We got newyork.com, we got perplexity, visibility, and now we're over onto the development site page. Now this is a really, really big deal because again, it's a lot of content, but you could do this too. You can do this too in your market, because really what do we talk about? We're talking about how do you build your expertise and show your proof. When you do this in your market, you can do this in your market. This is just content marketing. What you're going through here is nothing complicated, but this has been working. This strategy's been working for years. It's going to work for more years. And the beauty of it is we're creating very unique content. Even though we use AI all the time, we're utilizing AI to create amazing content, unique content, not generated content like anybody can create on, on the AI chat GPTs and all that kind of thing. Again, this is the newsletter page. And so right here, look at all the information, again, from here to here to here to here to here to here, and it's all linking together. So as these crawlers, right, like Google and all these other algorithms, when they follow, when they index any of these pages, they're following each link to where it goes. And along the way, they're picking up more and more knowledge, more and more relevant keywords. And so that's how you dominate these markets. I mean, look at all the things that they're talking about here, right? The Knakal Land Index right here. Okay. This was just announced. Okay. So this is new. Then we've got the table of contents. Look at all the things here: interest rates, construction pipeline, all kinds of air rights, recent press, everything. So this is what, again, they're throwing in a little bit of, more credibility here. How many buildings sold? They're showing the interest rate market. A lot of killer information right here. And let's scroll through. You can see that. Look at all this information. So what's happening is Google is just like, there's so much authority that's been created, and we just created a whole funnel. And again, there's nothing unique about this. They just, what they did was they just created the content, and all this content here is all relevant to what Bob is doing. So what's happening is that these algorithms, this is like a traffic engine that we've created for Bob, and we do this for a lot of businesses. So, we get into development, right? Transferable TDRs, transferable development rights. And it just keeps going. I mean, my gosh, look at this. I want to get to the end here, but, look at all the media that they've been featured in. They've got some great maps of deals that have been done. I mean, this is pretty amazing. More development sites, some recent sales that they completed. This one right here. This one just recently closed. The seller was Joseph Chatreet, the buyer Richard Mack. This one right here, Urban Standard Capital, Silver Lining Development bought it. So this one went for 94 million. This one went for 7.5 million. Here's another one that's sold, and David Goldberger bought it. That was 18 million. And again, Bob's got a lot to work with here, but you can see exactly the model, and it goes on and on. And the important thing is, like, okay, so if you're, for those who are still watching this, you're picking up so much geographic data, so much amazing information, along the way. But the thing is that these algorithms are picking up this along the way. This is such good information. And when you do this in your local market, this is how you get these amazing results. This is how you can't get results like this by going like wide. You got to go deep. Bob focuses on, a very, relatively small market. He stays in touch by phone with 1,200 people that he calls every 3-4 months. He's got a big email list, but he's built this, and it's a strategy that anybody can implement. But anyway, this is an advanced SEO strategy for real estate, and there are variations of this for everybody. If you want, click the links down below. You'll find me in my school group. You can find me on LinkedIn. We have a whole workbook on how this works, and you can all find that down in the. You'll find the workbook in our school group. And so anyway, that's it. So hope you enjoyed this. This is pretty neat. This is what we do all day long for all kinds of different businesses. And we'll see you in the next one.